You think that if you let go, they will spiral out of control. But the truth is, they are already out of your control. They always have been. From the moment they were born, from the moment they took their first breath, they have been their own person with their own will and their own choices. You were never meant to control another human being, not even your own child. You were meant to love them, guide them, pray for them, teach them, point them toward me, and then release them into my hands and trust that I love them even more than you do. And I do. I love them with a love that is fiercer and deeper and more relentless than anything you could ever feel. I loved them enough to die for them before they ever took their first breath. I loved them before they were conceived, before they existed. I loved them and I planned for them and I called them and I set a purpose over their lives. I have plans for them that are good. Plans to give them a future and a hope, and nothing they are doing right now is derailing my plans for their lives. Nothing they have done has made me give up on them or write them off or decide they are not worth the effort. What they are experiencing right now is part of their story. It is not the end. It is not even the middle. It is a chapter, a hard chapter, a painful chapter. A chapter that you wish you could skip or edit or rewrite. But it is a chapter that is teaching them things they could not learn any other way. Things about consequences, things about humility, things about the difference between what the world promises and what the world delivers, things about who they are when they are alone with their choices, things about hitting bottom and finding out if there is anything there to catch them. And when they come out of this chapter, and they will come out of it, they are going to have a testimony that will help someone else who is walking through what they walked through. They are going to have a depth of compassion that only comes from hitting rock bottom and discovering that I was there waiting for them, that I never left, that I never gave up, that I was the floor beneath them when they fell. And they did not fall into nothing. They fell into my arms. They are going to have a relationship with me that is not based on your faith or your prayers or your example. It will be based on their own encounter with my love, their own experience of my grace, their own moment of looking around at the mess they created and crying out for help and finding that I was already there. And that is worth the wait. That is worth the tears. That is worth the sleepless nights. Because when they finally turn around and come home, they will not be coming because you forced them or manipulated them or guilted them into it. They will be coming because I drew them, because I pursued them, because my love chased them down and would not let them go. And that kind of return lasts. That kind of transformation is real. That kind of relationship with me is solid. So here's what I need you to do for your children. I need you to pray for them, but not anxious prayers that are really just disguised attempts to tell me what to do. Not faithless prayers that are full of worst-case scenarios and what-ifs and catastrophic thinking. I need you to pray powerful, faith-filled prayers that declare my promises over their lives. Pray that I open their eyes to see the truth, to see through the lies they have believed, to see who they really are and who I created them to be. Pray that I send laborers into their path who will speak life to them, people who will love them well and point them toward me. Pray that I protect them from the enemy's schemes, from the traps he has set, from the destruction he has planned. Pray that every plan of the enemy against them backfires and works out for their good, that every scheme is exposed, that every lie is revealed for what it is. Pray that they hit the end of themselves sooner rather than later, that they come to the bottom of their rope quickly, so they turn back to me before the consequences get too severe, before they are in so deep that the pain of coming out is unbearable.
Pray that my love pursues them relentlessly, that they cannot shake the feeling that I am there, that no matter where they go or what they do, they cannot get away from my presence. Pray that they cannot run from me anymore, that they get tired of running and finally turn around and run into my arms instead. And then, after you pray, release them. Let go. Trust me. Stop trying to control the outcome. Stop checking up on them constantly. Stop hovering. Stop trying to manage their every move. Let go and let me work. And while you are waiting for them to come home, I need you to live your life. I need you to stop putting your entire existence on hold until they get their act together. I need you to stop letting their choices determine your emotional state every single day, where you wake up and the first thing you do is check to see if they called or texted or posted something, and your whole mood is determined by what you find or do not find. I need you to stop refreshing their social media 50 times a day, trying to figure out what they are up to, who they are with, what they are doing, looking for clues that tell you if they are okay or if you should be worried. I need you to stop interrogating them every time they call, peppering them with questions about where they have been and who they are seeing and what they are doing and when they are coming home. I need you to stop making every conversation about what they are doing wrong, about all the ways they are disappointing you, about how worried you are, about how their choices are affecting you. Just love them. Ask them how they are and actually listen to the answer. Tell them you miss them without adding, "and I would see you more if you would stop doing such and such." Send them a message that says, "I am proud of you." And do not attach any conditions or qualifications to it. Just tell them you are proud of them. Invite them over for dinner with no agenda, no lecture planned, no intervention prepared. Just a meal and time together. Be the safe place they can come back to when they are ready, and trust that I am doing a work in them that you cannot see yet. This principle applies to more than just your children. It applies to every relationship in your life that you have been trying to control out of fear. The spouse who is not living the way you think they should, who is not meeting your expectations, who seems distant or checked out, or like they are a million miles away even when they are sitting right next to you. The friend who drifted away and you don't know why, and you keep replaying your last conversation trying to figure out what you said wrong or what you did to offend them. The parent who hurt you years ago, maybe decades ago, and never apologized, never acknowledged it, never took responsibility, and you are still waiting for closure that may never come. The sibling who always seems to cause drama, who can't seem to suck all the oxygen out of every family gathering, who can't seem to get their life together and keeps coming to you for help but never takes your advice. The coworker who makes your life difficult, who undermines you or talks behind your back or takes credit for your ideas, or just rubs you the wrong way for reasons you can't fully articulate. You cannot control any of them, not one. You cannot force anyone to change. You cannot make someone see what you see. You cannot convince someone to care who has decided not to care. You cannot make someone love you or respect you or treat you the way you deserve to be treated. You cannot fix what is broken in someone else. But you can control how you respond. You can control whether you let their choices steal your peace. You can control whether you keep bringing up the same issue over and over hoping for a different result, or whether you accept that you have said what you needed to say and now it is time to be quiet. You can control whether you keep trying to fix what I have not asked you to fix, or whether you release it into my hands and let me do what only I can do. You can control your own thoughts, your own words, your own actions. You can control whether you stay in a toxic situation or set a boundary and walk away. You can control how much access you give someone to your heart. That is what you can control. Focus on that. Let me handle the rest. I want to be very clear about something because this gets misunderstood a lot. Releasing control is not the same as being passive. It is not the same as letting people walk all over you. It is not the same as ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine when it is not. There is a huge difference between surrendering something to me and just being a doormat. Surrender says, God, I have done everything I know to do. I have said what you told me to say. I have set the boundaries I needed to set. I have taken the action you prompted me to take. And now I am trusting you with the outcome. I am trusting you to work in their heart. I am trusting you to fight this battle. I am trusting you to defend me. I am trusting you with the results. Being a doormat says, I'm just going to let people treat me however they want and call it faith. I'm going to let people abuse me and tell myself I'm being spiritual. I'm going to avoid conflict at all costs because I'm afraid of what will happen if I stand up for myself. I'm going to ignore red flags and make excuses for bad behavior and pretend like everything is fine because I do not want to rock the boat. That is not faith. That is fear. That is avoiding conflict because you are afraid of what will happen if you speak up, if you set a limit, if you say no, if you walk away. I did not call you to be a doormat. I called you to be my child, and my children have dignity. They are made in my image. They are valuable. They are worth protecting. They are worth defending. They have worth. They have value that cannot be taken away by someone else's opinion or someone else's treatment. They have a voice. They have the right to use it. They have the right to say no. They have the right to say, this is not okay with me. They have the right to set boundaries that protect their peace and their mental health and their emotional well-being. They have the right to walk away from relationships that are toxic, that are damaging them, that are pulling them away from me instead of pushing them toward me. They have the right to protect their peace, not in a selfish way, not in a way that says, I don't care about anyone but myself, but in a healthy way that recognizes, I cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot help others if I am destroyed. I cannot be who you have called me to be if I am allowing myself to be torn apart by people who do not have my best interests at heart. They have the right to remove themselves from environments that are damaging to their soul, that are toxic to their spirit, that are crushing their joy and stealing their peace and making them feel like they are drowning. Surrendering to me does not mean letting people abuse you. It means you handle the situation with wisdom and strength and grace. It means you speak the truth in love. It means you set a boundary and enforce it. It means you do what I show you to do, whether that's having a hard conversation or walking away or staying and fighting or forgiving and letting go. And then you trust me with the results. You trust me to defend you when you are falsely accused. You trust me to restore what was stolen from you. You trust me to repay you for what was taken. You trust me to fight battles that are too big for you to fight on your own. You have been fighting battles that I never asked you to fight. You have been arguing with people I told you to walk away from. You have been trying to defend yourself to people whose opinions do not matter. People who have already made up their minds about you, and nothing you say is going to change it. You have been losing sleep over what someone said about you, replaying their words, trying to figure out how to respond, trying to craft the perfect comeback when I already know the truth about you. And that is all that matters. You have been exhausting yourself, trying to prove your worth to people who will never see it because they are determined to misunderstand you, because it serves their narrative to paint you as the villain, because admitting you are right would mean admitting they are wrong, and they're not ready to do that. And I am telling you to stop. Stop fighting battles I have not assigned to you. Stop defending yourself when I am your defense. Stop trying to prove yourself when I have already declared your worth. Be still, rest, trust, wait, watch, and see what I do. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. When every door is closed and every option is exhausted and every path is blocked, I make a way. I am the God who opens doors that no one can shut. Not the president, not your boss, not your enemy, not your past, not your mistakes, not your limitations. When I open a door, it stays open. And I shut doors that no one can open. When I closed a door, stop trying to pick the lock. Stop trying to force it. Stop trying to go around it. If I closed it, it's because there's something on the other side that you do not need, that would hurt you, that is not part of my plan for you. I am the God who provides in the wilderness. When you are in a season where there is nothing, no resources, no help, no options, no answers, I provide. I am the God who turns water into wine. I take what is ordinary and I make it extraordinary. I take what is bland and make it flavorful. I take what is disappointing and turn it into something that brings joy. I am the God who feeds thousands with a handful of loaves. I take what is not enough and I multiply it until it is more than enough. I am the God who raises the dead. What you thought was over, I can resurrect. What you thought was finished, I can revive. What you buried, I can bring back to life. I am the God who heals the incurable. The diagnosis that said terminal, I can reverse. The condition the doctor said was irreversible, I can heal. The damage they said was permanent, I can restore. I am the God who restores what was lost. The relationship you thought was over forever, I can heal. The opportunity you thought you missed, I can bring back around. The time you thought was wasted, I can redeem. I am the God who redeems. What was broken, the past that haunts you, I can redeem. The mistake that defines you, I can use for my glory. The pain that destroyed you, I can turn into a testimony that will help someone else. I am the God who makes all things new. Not some things, all things, including you, including your situation, including your family, including your future. And I am working on your behalf right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now, in this very moment. Even though you cannot see it yet, I am working in places you do not have access to. I am having conversations on your behalf. I am moving pieces on the board. I am positioning people. I am opening and closing doors. I am softening hearts. I am healing what is broken. I am restoring what was lost. I am preparing a miracle. Right now, while you are reading these words, while you are worrying about how it's all going to work out, while you are trying to figure out your next move, I am already making my move. Trust me, your situation is not too complicated for me. I have seen more complicated. Your problem is not too big. I have handled bigger. Your enemy is not too strong. I have defeated stronger. Your past is not too broken. I have redeemed worse. Your future is not too uncertain. I hold it in my hands. Nothing about your life is too much for me to handle. I spoke galaxies into existence with a word. I hold the oceans in the palm of my hand. I tell the sun when to rise and when to set. I set the stars in the sky, and I call each one by name. I know the number of hairs on your head, and when one falls, I know. I see every tear you cry, and I collect them in a bottle. I hear every prayer you whisper, even the ones that are so broken and desperate that you don't even have words. I know every fear you carry, every worry that keeps you awake, every burden that crushes you. And I am telling you, with all the power of heaven backing up my words, I have got this. You do not need to figure it out. That's my job. You do not need to have all the answers. I am the answer. You do not need to see the whole staircase before you take the first step. You just need to see the next step. You do not need a detailed plan for the next 5 years. You just need to know what I am asking you to do today. You just need to trust me enough to rest, to stop striving and start trusting, to stop controlling and start surrendering, to stop worrying and start worshiping, to stop carrying and start casting your cares on me because I care for you. Rest does not mean doing nothing. Rest means doing what I show you to do today without worrying about tomorrow. It means taking the next step I put in front of you without needing to see the entire path laid out from here to the destination. It means saying yes to the opportunity I open without needing a guarantee of exactly how it will turn out, without needing to see the end from the beginning, without needing to know every detail before you move. It means having the hard conversation I am asking you to have without rehearsing 17 different versions of it in your head, without scripting every possible response, without trying to control their reaction. It means setting the boundary I am prompting you to set without feeling guilty about it, without apologizing for taking care of yourself, without trying to explain or justify or defend your decision to people who will never understand it. It means walking away from what I am telling you to walk away from, even though it is scary, even though you do not know what comes next, even though leaving the familiar is terrifying, even when the familiar is toxic. It means staying where I'm telling you to stay, even though you are ready to move, even though you are restless, even though you do not understand why the door is not opening yet. It means obeying my voice today and trusting me with tomorrow. It means taking one day at a time, one step at a time, one decision at a time, and trusting that I will give you what you need when you need it. Every single day, I give you daily bread, not weekly bread, not monthly bread, not a year's supply in advance so you can stop depending on me and feel self-sufficient. Daily bread. Just enough for today, just enough light for the next step, just enough provision for this moment, just enough strength for what you are facing right now. Because I want you to learn to walk with me day by day. I want you to wake up every morning and say, God, what do you have for me today? What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Who do you want me to talk to? What do you want me to say? What battles do you want me to fight? And what battles do you want me to walk away from? And then I want you to do that thing, whatever it is, and trust me with the results. You are so busy planning 6 months from now that you are missing what I am trying to do today. You are so focused on the destination that you are rushing past the journey, missing the lessons and the growth and the encounters I have planned for you along the way. You are so consumed with what you do not have yet that you are not grateful for what I have already given you, what you already have, the blessings that are already in your life that you are taking for granted because you are so focused on what is missing. Slow down, be present, pay attention. I am speaking to you all the time, but you are moving too fast to hear me. I am opening doors for you, but you are too distracted to notice them. I am sending people across your path with exactly what you need, but you are too busy looking at your phone or thinking about your next meeting or replaying yesterday's problems to see them. I want to give you rest, deep soul-level peace that passes understanding rest. But rest is not something I can force on you. You have to choose it. You have to decide that you are done carrying what I never asked you to carry. You have to make the decision that you are going to trust me even when it does not make sense, even when you do not understand, even when every logical voice in your head is telling you to take control. You have to commit to obeying my voice. Even when logic tells you to do something else, even when it looks foolish, even when other people think you're crazy, you have to release control, even though every instinct in you is screaming to hold on tighter, to grip harder, to not let go. This is a choice only you can make. No one can make it for you, and it is the most important choice you will make today. So here's what I'm asking you to do. When you finish hearing these words, I want you to get quiet, turn off the noise, close the other tabs, put down your phone, step away from the distractions. I want you to find a place where you can be alone with me for just a few minutes. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just a few minutes of quiet where it's just you and me.
And I want you to open your hands, literally, physically open your hands. Hold them out in front of you, palms up, fingers relaxed, not gripping anything. And as you do, I want you to imagine that you are holding the thing that has been stealing your sleep, that situation that has been consuming your thoughts for weeks or months, that person you have been trying to change, trying to fix, trying to control, that outcome you have been trying to force, trying to manipulate, trying to orchestrate, that fear you have been carrying, the one that sits on your chest at night and makes it hard to breathe, that burden that is crushing you, that feels like it is too heavy to carry one more day, but you do not know how to put it down. See it sitting in your open hands. Picture it, name it, acknowledge it. And then I want you to lift your hands up toward heaven. Lift them up slowly, like you are offering something to me. Because you are. You are offering me the thing you have been trying to handle on your own. The thing you have been trying to carry by yourself. The thing you have been trying to fix in your own strength. And as you lift your hands, I want you to say out loud, God, this is yours. I cannot carry it anymore. I have tried. I have done everything I know to do. I have exhausted every option. I do not know how to fix it. I do not know what to do next. I do not have the answer. But I trust you. I trust your timing, even though I do not understand it. I trust your plan, even though I cannot see it. I trust that you love me, and you love the people I am worried about. I trust that you see what I cannot see. I trust that you are working even when I cannot feel it, even when there is no evidence, even when it looks like nothing is happening. I trust you, and I am choosing to rest. And then leave your hands open. Do not close them again. Do not take it back 5 minutes later. Do not grab it again as soon as you start to feel anxious. Leave it with me. Picture yourself handing it to me, and me taking it from you, and then walking away with empty hands. Hands that are free. Hands that are available for what I want to give you. Hands that are not gripping and grasping and holding on, but are open to receive. And every time your mind tries to pick it back up, and it will, every time anxiety starts to creep back in like an unwelcome visitor, every time you are tempted to start worrying again, and planning, and controlling, and stressing, come back to this moment. Lift your hands again, open them, and remind yourself that you already gave this to me. It is not yours to carry anymore. It is mine, and I am handling it. Let me do my job while you rest. As you do this, as you release control and surrender to me, something is going to shift in the spiritual realm. You may not feel it immediately, but it is happening. Burdens are going to lift.
Chains that have been wrapped around your heart are going to break. Doors that have been locked are going to open. Hearts that have been hard are going to soften. Circumstances that have been stuck are going to change. Miracles are going to be set in motion. Not because you earned them, not because you're super spiritual, not because you figured it out, not because you worried hard enough or prayed perfectly enough, but because you finally trusted me enough to rest. And that's when I move. That's when my power is released. That's when heaven invades earth on your behalf. I am the God of miracles, and I am about to show you what I can do when you stop trying to do it yourself. I am about to part your Red Sea, the thing that has been in your way, the obstacle that has blocked your path, the barrier that has felt immovable. I am about to part it, and you're going to walk through on dry ground. I am about to crumble your Jericho walls, the thing that has felt impenetrable, the fortress that your enemy has built, the wall that has kept you from your promise. I am about to bring it down with a shout. I am about to turn your water into wine, the thing that is ordinary and bland and disappointing. I am about to transform it into something extraordinary. I am about to multiply your loaves and fish, the little bit that you have that does not seem like enough. I am about to multiply it until there is more than enough, until there is overflow.
I am about to do immeasurably more than you could ask or imagine. Not just what you asked for, more. Not just what you imagined, beyond. Because my thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. But I need your hands open. I need your heart surrendered. I need your mind at rest, and I need your faith active. Faith is not passive. Faith is not sitting back and doing nothing and hoping everything works out. Faith is not wishful thinking, fingers crossed, hoping for the best while expecting the worst. Faith is confident trust in who I am and what I have promised. Faith says, even though I cannot see how this is going to work out, I know God can see. Even though I do not understand what He is doing, I know He is working all things together for my good. Even though this does not look like what I expected, I know His ways are higher than my ways. Even though I am walking through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because He is with me. His rod and His staff, they comfort me. Faith does not deny the reality of the storm. It just refuses to let the storm have the final word. You are standing in the middle of your storm right now. The waves are real. The wind is strong. The boat is rocking. I am not telling you it's not, but I am standing on the water in front of you, reaching out my hand, saying, come, trust me, walk toward me, keep your eyes on me. Do not look at the waves. Do not listen to the wind. Do not calculate how impossible this is. Do not let your logic talk you out of what my voice is calling you into. Just look at me, listen to my voice, focus on my face, and take the next step. Just one step, and then another. And watch what happens when you walk in faith instead of fear. You are not going to sink. I have got you. My hand is already reaching toward you before you even step out of the boat. I am not waiting to see if you make it before I help you. I am already positioned to catch you. I know the exact moment you are going to wobble, and I am already there. I see the wave that is about to crash, and I have already decided how I am going to use it to show you my power, to demonstrate my faithfulness, to strengthen your faith. You are not going to drown. I did not call you onto the water to let you sink. You are not going to be swept away. The current is not stronger than I am. You are not going to be overwhelmed. The storm is not bigger than me. You are going to walk on water. Not because you are strong, but because I am holding you up. Not because you are capable, but because I am able. Not because you have great faith, but because you have faith in a great God. And one day, not too far from now, you are going to look back on this season and you are going to be amazed. You are going to see how every single thing that felt like it was falling apart was actually falling into place. How every piece that seemed random was actually purposeful. How every delay that felt cruel was actually protection. How every closed door that felt like rejection was actually redirection. How every person who walked away made room for the right people to walk in. How every tear you cried watered the seeds of the harvest you were about to reap. How every night you couldn't sleep was a night I was working on your behalf while you rested in my care. You are going to see my hand in every detail, and you are going to say, God, you were so faithful. Even when I couldn't see it, you were working. Even when I didn't understand, you were moving. Even when I was afraid, you were in control. Even when it looked like everything was falling apart, you were holding everything together. But you don't have to wait until it's over to have peace. You can have peace right now. You can rest right now. You can trust right now. Because I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I have never failed you. I have never left you. I have never stopped working on your behalf. And I am not about to start now. You are mine. You belong to me. You are covered by my blood. You are protected by my angels. You are provided for by my Father. You are loved with an everlasting love that nothing and no one can separate you from. Not death, not life, not angels, not demons, not your present, not your future, not any power in heaven or on earth. Not your mistakes, not your past, not your fears. Nothing can separate you from my love. So take a deep breath, a real one, all the way in. Hold it for a moment. Now let it out slowly, all the way out.
Feel the tension leaving your shoulders. Feel the knot in your stomach starting to unravel. Feel the tightness in your chest beginning to release. Feel the weight that has been sitting on you starting to lift. This is what rest feels like. This is what trust feels like. This is what peace feels like. And it is yours. Not because you have it all figured out. Not because your problems are solved. Not because your circumstances have changed. But because you serve a God who is bigger than all of it. A God who specializes in impossible situations. A God who makes a way when there is no way. A God who turns mourning into dancing and ashes into beauty. A God who is working all things together for your good because you love me and you are called according to my purpose. You are going to be okay. Better than okay. You are going to thrive. You are going to see breakthrough. You are going to experience miracles. You are going to testify about my faithfulness. You are going to look back on this season and see my hand in every detail. You are going to help someone else who is going through what you are going through right now. You are going to have a story that brings me glory and brings hope to people who are losing faith. But the first step is rest. The first step is surrender. The first step is letting go of what you cannot control and trusting me with it. I want to tell you one more story before you go. A story about a woman who understood rest in a way that even her own sister did not. Her name was Mary, and she had a sister named Martha. I came to visit their home one day. Martha loved me. She wanted everything to be perfect for my visit. She wanted the meal to be just right. She wanted the house to be clean. She wanted to serve me well. And there is nothing wrong with any of that. Martha's heart was good. Her intentions were pure. She was showing love in the way she knew how. But she became so consumed with the doing, so focused on the serving, so stressed about making everything perfect that she completely missed the point of my visit. I did not come for the food. I did not come to inspect her house. I did not come to be served. I came to be with her, to spend time with her, to speak to her, to let her know that I saw her, I knew her, I loved her. But she was too busy in the kitchen to notice, too stressed about the details to be present for what mattered most, too focused on what she thought she should be doing to realize what I was inviting her to do. Her sister Mary made a different choice. Mary sat at my feet. She left the work undone. She let the dishes pile up. She ignored the expectations. She did not care what anyone thought. She just sat there and listened. She did not try to impress me. She did not try to earn my love. She did not try to prove her worth by how much she could do. She simply rested in my presence and received what I had to give. And when Martha complained, when she came to me frustrated and asked me to tell Mary to help her, do you know what I said? I said, Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. I am saying the same thing to you today. You are worried and upset about many things, so many things. Your list is long. Your burdens are heavy. Your responsibilities are real. I'm not minimizing any of that, but only one thing is needed. Only one thing. Rest in my presence. Trust in my love. Surrender control to me. That is the one thing. Everything else flows from that. Everything else falls into place when you get that one thing right. But when you neglect that one thing, when you are too busy doing to spend time being, when you are too stressed serving to sit still and receive, you miss what I am trying to give you. You miss the peace that passes understanding. You miss the joy that is not dependent on circumstances. You miss the rest that restores your soul. Mary chose the better thing, and I am inviting you to choose it too. Not because the work doesn't matter, not because your responsibilities are not important, but because you cannot do what I have called you to do if you are running on empty. You cannot serve from a place of exhaustion and depletion and call it worship. You cannot give what you do not have. And if you do not take time to sit at my feet and let me fill you, you will have nothing left to give. You will be like Martha, stressed and frustrated and resentful, wondering why no one else is helping, feeling unappreciated and unseen, missing the very thing you are working so hard to create. So sit, rest, be still. Let the dishes wait. Let the laundry pile up. Let the emails go unanswered for a few more minutes. Let the world spin without you for a moment. Because the world was spinning long before you got here, and it will keep spinning long after you are gone. You are not holding it all together. I am, and I do not need your help. What I want is your heart. I want your attention. I want your time. I want you to know that you are loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. You are my child. That is your identity. That is your worth. That is your value. And nothing you accomplish or fail to accomplish will ever change that. Let me speak to something else that might be weighing on you. The guilt you feel about things you did in the past, mistakes you made, words you said, choices you regret, things you did that you can never undo, people you hurt, opportunities you wasted, time you lost. I see you carrying that guilt like a backpack full of rocks, and it is crushing you. Every time you try to move forward, the weight of your past pulls you backward. Every time you start to experience joy, the memory of what you did steals it away. Every time you begin to hope, the voice of condemnation reminds you that you do not deserve good things because of what you have done. And I want you to hear this, really hear it. Your past is covered by my blood. Every sin, every mistake, every failure, every regret, I took it all to the cross. I paid for it. I dealt with it. It is finished. Not almost finished, not mostly finished, completely finished. There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in me. None. Not a little, not sometimes, not for everyone except you. No condemnation. That means the guilt you are carrying, the shame you are dragging around, the condemnation you are living under, it is not from me. It is not my voice. It is not my heart toward you. The enemy wants you to stay stuck in your past because he knows that if you realize you are free, if you truly believe that you are forgiven, if you walk in the freedom I purchased for you, you are going to be dangerous. You are going to help other people find freedom. You are going to have a testimony that sets captives free. You are going to be a threat to his kingdom. So he keeps whispering in your ear, reminding you of what you did, telling you that you do not deserve to be happy, that you should punish yourself, that you need to keep paying for what you have done, even though I already paid the price. But I am telling you to stop listening to him. He is a liar. He has been a liar from the beginning. There is no truth in him. And when he speaks condemnation over you, he is speaking from his own character, not from mine. I do not condemn you. I forgave you completely, fully, forever. The moment you asked, I forgave. I did not make you grovel. I did not make you prove yourself. I did not put you on probation. I forgave you and I moved on. The only one still holding it against you is you, and maybe other people who don't understand the power of my grace, but they don't get a vote. Their opinion does not matter. Mine does. And I say, you are forgiven. You are clean. You are new. You are free. Now I need you to forgive yourself. I need you to let go of the guilt. I need you to stop punishing yourself for something I already dealt with. Every time you refuse to forgive yourself, you are saying that my sacrifice was not enough. You are saying that my blood did not fully cover your sin. You are saying that you need to add something to what I did on the cross, and that is not humility. That is pride. Humility says, I don't deserve it, but I receive it because you paid the price. Pride says, I have to earn it. I have to do something to make up for it. I have to punish myself a little longer before I can accept your forgiveness. Let it go. Forgive yourself. Not because what you did was not that bad. Some of you did things that were really bad. I'm not minimizing it, but I'm telling you that I dealt with it. I absorbed the punishment. I took the wrath. I paid the debt. And now it is done. Finished. Over. You are free to walk away from it and never look back. You are free to build a new life on the foundation of my grace instead of the rubble of your past. You are free to become who I created you to be instead of staying stuck in who you used to be. There is a future for you. A good future, a hopeful future, a future that is not defined by your past, but by my promises. A future where you help other people find the freedom you found. A future where your mess becomes your message and your test becomes your testimony. A future where the enemy looks back at what he tried to use to destroy you and realizes that I turned it into the very thing that prepared you for your purpose. That is what redemption looks like. That is what I do. I take what was meant for evil and I work it out for good. Let me also address the fear you carry about the future. You are afraid of what might happen, afraid of what could go wrong, afraid that you will not have enough, afraid that you will end up alone, afraid that your health will fail, afraid that your children will walk away, afraid that everything you have built will come crashing down. Fear is robbing you of joy in the present because you are so consumed with what might happen in the future. And I want to remind you of something I said when I walked the earth. I said, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. You are trying to live tomorrow's life with today's strength, and it does not work. I give you strength for today, grace for today, provision for today, wisdom for today. But when you try to borrow from tomorrow, when you try to prepare for problems that have not happened yet, when you try to carry burdens that I have not given you today, you are operating outside of my provision. And that is why you feel overwhelmed. That is why you feel like you do not have enough, because you are trying to carry tomorrow's load with today's strength. Stop living in the future. Come back to today. What do you actually need right now in this moment? Not next month, not next year, right now. Do you have air in your lungs? Do you have a heartbeat? Are you alive? Then you have what you need right now. And tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, I will give you what you need for tomorrow. But I am not giving it to you today because you do not need it today. Trust me enough to live one day at a time. Trust me enough to stop trying to figure out how everything is going to work out 10 years from now. Trust me enough to take the next step without needing to see the entire staircase. I know you wish you could see the whole plan. I know you want to know how this all ends. I know you want guarantees and clarity and detailed blueprints.